But stemming off our conversation we just had before, what got you sort of into the fashion? Actually, we'll go Asiya before like creating a business, the business ASIYAM. Do you get what I mean? Could you tell us actually? Actually, I'll start it off this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to talk about. He's excited.
I'm thinking which aspect should I double into?
Maybe let them do it if you have too many. No,
I'm Gucci.
Yeah.
I'm Gucci.
Yeah.
I think we'll start off with why did you want to become like a creative director, like an owner of a business? Where did this passion come from?
I really didn't think about it. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't like intentional. This whole ASIYAM thing.
Yeah.
It's not Asiya, but it's ASIYAM.
For sure.
Yeah, it was like I just didn't want my name in it. At the same time, I was like, this is the easiest way to. But it was. I've always made things. If you know me, you would know. I've always made. I never bought 8 clothes.
Yeah.
I've never gone to the shop and bought a buyer from anyone. I just always made it. I made it for everyone. I'd make it for Zakia, my mom, everyone, my friends. On Eid night, I'd always be busy because I just had like I was excited about it.
You had this passion from the get-go.
From like a young age, I've always made my own stuff. Even at school, like I used to like make the girls' school skirts better. But it was just natural, you know. It wasn't. But the Instagram thing was quite like it was an accident in terms of like the business part.
Gotcha.
And then it just went off. Like I used to just take orders through DM and it was getting out of hand. And then I was like, okay, I think I need to find manufacturing. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm really good at business stuff and I actually enjoy it. So I was like, and then it just became.
So you liked it from the get-go essentially. And then you're like, let me start a business.
I always wanted a business, but I just never thought of it this way. And I don't know how to explain. I never thought of I was going to have an Instagram e-commerce. Like no one knew what e-commerce was.
Yeah.
Like for example, when I was in high school, I wanted to be my own, like I wanted to own my own label. I wanted to call it like Nobody brand.
Yeah.
And then there was already Nobody Jeans, like from Melbourne. And I was like,
oh, that name was already stolen.
It was already there. And then it was like, oh, okay. I was like 16 and stuff.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to have a label. I just didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I became philosophical and I was like, what's the point of life? And I was like, I don't want money. No. And I became like it's like, it's not about that.
Exactly.
And then I went into the whole self-discovery stuff. And then I came back and
you realized this is what you want to do.
Skip through chapters, cuz. You know what? If the book was your life, you just went through 12 chapters. You're like, just, life discovery and stuff like that.
Yeah, like in terms of fashion, I always wanted it. And then it was just never like, oh, I'm going to do it in a business sense. Like I was like, I'll leave it alone. Because like if you don't have anyone in your life that does have a business. I don't have anyone that runs a business here. I don't know anyone in the fashion. The fashion we know here in Australia, the word is not for us as Muslim girl anyway. It's like fashion is a completely different business.
For sure.
Like it's I don't know.
Sorry, bro. I just wanted to ask. So, do you reckon that sort of stuff stems from like your expectations as obviously a Muslim Somali woman, or whatever it is? Is it more cultural or religious, or
in terms of
like, for example, you becoming like doing fashion as a hobby, more so than a business or
for sure. Like saying, "Oh, I'm going to be a fashion designer," was it like how do you even say that to your parents? It was impossible. Even when I was finishing high school, I didn't go into study like fashion. I was like, "Oh, okay, I know what to do already. I'm already doing textiles in every class I've done it." But I was like, "I'm going to do marketing because you have to be really good at like in order to run a business, you have to be." And then I was like, but I'm going to do fashion on the side. So I went to another school to do, but telling like, oh, this is a job. How would you describe it? And the whole modest fashion business was not a thing. People would just buy rubbish stuff from China and bring it and try to sell it. And that's why I never bought it because I'm like, nah, it's ugly. I want nice stuff. It's disgusting.
You can just tell there's no thought or any love into it.
There's actually no thought. When you actually go to China, you see where they buy it from. You're like, this is some Chinese man thinks this is what a Muslim girl will wear, makes stuff, puts it there. All these people buy it, bring it back here. It's actual trash. It's actual rubbish. They all make profit out of it, but it's just there's no like thought to it. There's no aesthetics. There's no.
Explain this hobby from the get go, like you as
a human being. As a human being. Like, it's hard to understand me. I was actually born in Somalia in the war. So I was born in the middle of the war, and then my mum left when I was like 5 or something. So I was raised with my dad and stuff. But even in Somalia, that word fashion doesn't exist in our vocabulary. We actually don't have that word.
So there's no Somali word
for fashion now. We don't have that. And like to say fashion as in there's no so think of this.
But that's crazy too. Sorry to cut you off here, but in the Somali language, the
Yeah.
word fashion doesn't exist. Yeah. And even if you comprehend of like you at a young age
Yeah.
being like, yeah, I want to do fashion.
Yeah.
How do you even say it to your parents? You know, first of all, it's not culturally sort of accepted. And second of all,
Like
it
you
doesn't
can't even have the
it's
thought.
not
You
in the
like
linguistic language.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can only have a thought if you already have an image. Like
Yeah.
you can't have a thought about something you don't know that exists.
For sure.
And on top of that, we didn't have TV. This is a time of war. Like none of you, I don't know if you guys lived through war, but like
I was
there's no
born in the war
TV.
too.
There's no books even. Like I would
Survival,
read like random like new. The only books we had were like books Emirates donated to the schools.
For sure.
How
So
old
we
were
had
you
to
at the
learn in
time?
Arabic.
Sorry.
I was born in the war, so I was until 9 I lived in Somalia.
Oh,
Gotcha.
okay.
Yeah, I only came to school in year 7 in Australia. I wasn't like raised here.
Year 7.
The end of year 7, literally. So I started
Oh.
school technically in year 8.
Mm-hmm.
And you came here refugee.
No, my mom was here, so she sponsored us like as her
Yeah.
children.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
so
sure.
your mum was already
My
here.
mom came in like 98 or something, so she
Okay.
left a long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So she
Wow.
left 96 in Somalia or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
would have gone. Yeah,
So did you have this hobby as well back in Somalia
I
as well?
did. So imagine this. Yeah, we don't have TV, we don't have pictures. No magazine doesn't exist in our vocabulary. None of that. But I knew like. So Somali, like we had a tailor, so every Eid and stuff, I can't wait. I'm like, Dad, I'm coming with you to buy material.
Yeah.
And I sit at the tailor, I'm like, nah, make it this way. Don't make my skirt like the other girls. I don't want it. Like it was nature, you know, it was just natural that I was like, I was obsessed with, I know it sounds vain, but I wanted to dress nice.
No,
I
no,
just wanted
100%.
to look unique.
Doesn't sound vain at all.
Yeah, it sounds.
I find that interesting because like some people live their life struggling to find out what they're passionate about.
Yeah,
You get what I
I
mean?
never looked for it.
And
no.
you know what one funny thing is always people look for like their passion or their hobby or
Yeah.
what sort of is their life calling and everything
Sorry.
except what they're actually good at. You get what I mean? Like for example, like some person is athletic,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But they try and dabble into everything other thing than doing sport.
That's
you know what I
true.
mean?
If
So
they're good at
sometimes-
it, yeah.
Yeah, if you look at it, it's like go based off of what you're good at and what you like. You know what
It's
I mean?
easy said though. Like for example,
Yeah.
even though naturally I was good at, I don't even until this day I never have to think. Like when people are like, "Oh, so and so is copying," so I'm like, you have no idea how easy it is for me to think of something new to make.
For sure.
Like, creativity comes so easy for me, but when you have to think of like, oh, how am I going to make a living? It's so easy to get lost in people telling you, "Hey, do this." That's why I was confused when I finished high school. I was
Yeah.
like, people are like, "Are you really?" Like I used to get embarrassed saying I make clothes, like because
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
what are
yeah,
you
yeah.
fashion
It's a
design? What
weird
is that?
thing.
People just laugh at you like, "What is
Yeah.
that?" You know, it's
Yeah.
not a real job.
And especially saying or
So
like
you're
you
gonna
crack-
look for other things to do. Like even I wanted to be a counselor. Like I studied
Yeah.
counseling and stuff like that. I was like,
Yeah.
and even you have to set goals. You know, in my goals, it was never like I'm gonna be the counselor. It was like I'm gonna open counseling facilities
Yeah.
for free. That like so it was. I never want to work for people.
Yeah.
100%.
Even though I can, that doesn't mean I can't. I can.
Yeah.
But it was just not in
It's not inside, you know. I know
my
exactly
nature. But
what
I
you mean.
did try.
Yeah.
I understand why people do it because you're trying to fit in or you're trying to be like, am I crazy? Like why am I like why do I have these feelings?
Yeah.
But the older I got, the more I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
pretty comfortable. I can get a job and still have a business.
Gotcha.
That's what Instagram made my life so easy. I didn't have to think about it.
Yeah. I want to delve into that a bit later as well, like
Yeah.
having an online business.
Yeah.
Completely like running on Instagram, like a
Yeah,
social online
literally, yeah.
business. But before we get that, so continue on with the phase that you're going through. So like your dad, and, like because I
Yeah,
find that
always-
like an interesting
Somalia.
story.
I never talked
know?
about this stuff, but anyway, it's so like
Yeah.
so I did like even my first pleat, like people I don't know if you guys know what pleat is. This is pleat.
No.
My first pleat, and I told my mom send me fabric. She bought fabric from Spotlight, send it to Somalia, and that was my first pleat. I have the pictures and stuff. I cared so much about how I dressed.
Yeah.
Even though I had no one to look up to.
Yeah.
Like the first time we saw music video clips and stuff like that was when we came to Kenya.
Yeah.
We didn't have nothing. We didn't have anything like that in my head.
For sure.
So
Off the
creativity was just like,
It's out of you. That's
you
it.
just think,
Yeah.
the first time I
mad.
started to notice things was when we came to Kenya, and that was like 2002 or something like that. It's a long time
But
later.
you can't teach that stuff anyway. Creativity. Do you know what I mean? You have the eye for it or you don't.
Yeah.
You know?
And you don't know that you're creative. At the time, I didn't anyway. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know that's what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Just have the eye, yeah.
Like I
Yeah,
remember,
yeah.
this I was I remember we were little,
Yeah.
and then in Somalia, like I used to be like Dad, because we learn Arabic in Somalia.
Yeah.
Every subject is in Arabic,
Yeah.
except Somalian and English.
Mhm.
And then I was like, oh Dad, let me teach my little brother Idris and Ahmed Arabic, get paid on the weekends. And Dad's like, all right, it's a revision for you anyway, so I'll teach them my maths and stuff in Arabic, and then I'd collect the money.
Yeah.
It's like a way of making money,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
my dad knew. But then one time I
She's
got
gonna be a businesswoman when she grows up.
it's
Yeah.
like $2-3. It wasn't a lot of money.
Yeah.
You'd give me $2-3 per person per
Sure.
session on the weekend, and I used to collect that money. But then one time, one of my uncles gave me $100. I was like, oh, like it was a lot of money.
Yeah,
but straight away, you know what was in? I don't know if you guys know CK, like Calvin Klein was in, but I don't know what it is. But I'm such a trend follower. All these people that had money had the CK turtleneck. White, like it was white and it was short sleeve. I was obsessed with it, but there's no way I could afford it. And my dad's gonna be like, "Piss off! I'm not buying you $100 for a T-shirt." Like in Somalia as well. So I took it straight with that whole 100. I walked to the market. I'm like, I bought a CK top. It was so much bigger than me.
You bought the bougie top, yeah.
And until now, I remember, I'm like, what is? That's just such a bizarre thing to do. But at the same time, it's like it was just like by nature in me. Yeah, I couldn't help it. I enjoyed. People think I do ASIYAM for like a living. I'm like, bro, it's my.
It's your passion.
It's not passion. What's it called? It's my leisure.
Like,
you know, people play soccer and stuff. I do this when I want to relax. Like ASIYAM is like my time to relax.
There's no pressure, basically.
No pressure because it's like I'm not in a rush. I'm in competition with
So in your downtime, you'll go and design something.
Yeah, literally. That's why I took time off when I'm trying to finish my MBA. I was like, I'm not gonna like what was it? How long? It took me almost a year and a half. I didn't do anything. I only did 8 collections. I was like, I'm not in a rush. I'm not in competition.
You're taking your time because you're having fun with it. It's like your off days. I like that. I like that. I rate that.
It's fun. I don't want people to ruin it.
Touch on the MBA as well a little bit. So you do have an MBA?
Not yet. I have 2 electives left.
Inshallah, man.
Inshallah.
That's crazy.
One thing
in my mind, I'm already done because the hard part. I couldn't breathe. There's no way I could have made this new collection.
Yeah.
Wallahi, I noticed you can't be academic and creative at the same time. It messes with you.
It's hard balancing that as well.
I couldn't do it. I was like, I have to choose.
You can't sit down either, yeah?
I hate academics way more, but I'm not gonna lie. But I did the MBA just because I was like, I don't know anything about business.
You know that's a normal thing as well, because you know, like you know, a lot of YouTubers, like people that have like different creativities. You know what I mean, like in video production, photography, and all that kind of stuff. People actually like dedicate their full time either to it, or they do. You can't really do a half. Essentially, was what I'm saying. Do you get what I mean?
But I was being half-assed. But sorry. Again? I was being half-assed with this. Like I was fully focusing on the MBA because. But
like you said, it's hard too, though, isn't it?
It's very hard. The creativity, like it was suffocated. It was squeezed out. It was
like, how do you produce high quality like products?
Nah, you can't. I can't enjoy it. I can't enjoy it. I wasn't enjoying it. That's why I was like, I'm only going to do like 1 8th Ramadan collection. I won't even post. I think for 6 months or something, I didn't post. Everyone's like, what are you doing? I was like, none of your business.
Yeah. I will go back to the sort of the linear story quickly. But what is it like having the pressure of creating new products every single time? You get what I mean? And like sort of meeting the expectations of your clients.
All the time, yeah.
You know?
The clients, like, I did try to go the route of listening to the clients. It doesn't work well for me because they kind of, I know it's hard to say, they don't know what they want, but they kind of don't. Like when you listen to them and you make what they want, it's actually not that great. But when you're like, you don't know what like you want, I have something great here. It sounds arrogant, but like I have something that you can't even think about. Here it is. And then they like it because they couldn't have even imagined that this was there. So for me, I'm telling you, I have so much creativity. I just don't have enough funding because fashion costs a lot. Like people don't understand. Fashion business is like a capital resource. It's just you have 100%. To have a lot of money. So me, that's why I do minimal stuff because I'm not short on creativity. I'm gonna put it out there.
100%. We can see that clearly.
Cool,
no, like I can make. I've done it before, like for fashion weeks. Like when I do it, then you have to produce it. So I don't post so many things I have at home. I don't post it because I'm like, then that pressure of having to actually produce it, manufacture
starts
it,
catching
selling,
up to
like as a ready to wear. It's a different.
Gotcha. So how was that transition phase from what do you call it, Somalia to Australia? Like having that hobby in the back of your head.
We went to Kenya first.
Sorry, Kenya.
Yeah. Somalia to Kenya was a good transition. Yeah. Because if I went from Somalia to Australia, it would have been crazy. We learned everything in Arabic in Somalia, because the Emirates were sort of sponsoring the schools, so they gave us things in Arabic.
Everything in Arabic.
Everything in Arabic. Yeah.
So were you thinking about ASIYAM at this time as well?
Like in Somalia?
When was
no
the birth?
Way.
No. In Kenya.
In Kenya, no way.
Now some people you weren't even 9 yet. And you were like, I'm ASIYAM.
No way. Nah.
Let me reword that question. When was the birth of ASIYAM?
It's weird because the actual word ASIYAM was not even born for this brand. It sounds crazy.
Okay.
When I registered, I didn't register for actual ASIYAM. Okay. I'd register for another business.
Yeah.
But what I realized was so clothing I never saw. I didn't like this trends. I didn't want to sell it. It was bothering me too much. I like my stuff. I don't want people wearing what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
This is for me. Leave it alone.
Gotcha.
So I didn't register ASIYAM for ASIYAM.
Yeah.
I registered for another business, a bunch of other businesses. It was a company, it was an incorporate. It wasn't like, and then what I realized was you actually have to put so much work into a business. You have to really care. And I was like, if I'm putting this much effort in, I'm doing all this work, why don't I do something I like, then put the same effort and actually like I'll be much better, I'll be happier. So I just stopped doing it.
So you said I'm just gonna make a company. I don't know what it is.
No, I knew what it was.
Oh, okay.
We were selling stuff.
Are you doing Amazon drop shipping stuff?
Drop shipping and stuff.
Bro,
and not just
too much, man. Don't work.
It was too much work. It seemed easy, but it wasn't worth it. I was like, it's actually gonna take a lot of effort. And I genuinely don't care about what I was selling.
You weren't in love with it either.
I hated what I was selling. It was disgusting.
It was the idea of money.
It wasn't just money. It was the idea of I'm gonna work for myself and this is gonna be fun. And it was like not fun.
The idea, drop shipping was like the money side of things. Yeah,
financial freedom and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but it's not just the financial freedom, because I can work at a job and have a lot of money. Like I can be making good money at work, but do I want to be doing that work? So it was more of, this is gonna give you something you want to do, fulfilling life. Yeah, but it was not. It was just the worst thing ever.
Yeah, and that's not for everyone either as well. Because like you got
nah, I can't do it.
Because you got like your 9 to 5 people and then your 5 to 9 people, like people who work 9 to 5 and don't mind that like hustle bustle life where they go to the city, work for a boss, and then do that.
I'd rather do that than the whole like doing something you don't enjoy. Because either way, it comes down to the same thing. I don't even like what I'm doing, so money doesn't. Because money sits in your account. You just like money doesn't make you happy. I don't want money if I'm actually feeling like crap all day. It's just I don't want it. Because I have enough money. I don't need anything, you know. Alhamdulillah, like I'm okay. Yeah. It's more of like I want a fulfilling life.
For sure.
And I want to look forward to tomorrow. I was not looking forward to tomorrow with things like that.
Yeah, gotcha.
So with this, like with ASIYAM, it's like I already know what I'm doing, and because I'm competitive, like make it like a competitive thing, and then that's all it is. Look forward to tomorrow. So
your sport. Basically, yeah.
No, I'm like really competitive. You don't even want to know people. I'm not like friends with people when I play games. Like
there's no need to be afterwards. You can talk.
David Goggins, basically.
Even when I'm like shit at a game, wallahi, I'll go home and practice until I'm coming back tomorrow. I have to win. I have to win.
Jordan.
Wallah, that's actually a mad quality to have.
I can't. It's bad and good at the same time. It's bad.
Yeah, curse and a blessing.
Too much of it is obviously bad, but then obviously like you need to have that hunger. You got to be relentless.
I used to say that all the time. Like I'm so competitive. I wish I was this competitive in life. Like how competitive I am in games, but I sort of found a way to do it now.
It's not good. Wallah, it's not good. The first thing you're trying to brush your teeth faster than your brothers and your sisters. And
everything.
You're trying to do it quicker than everyone. You pray quicker, and then what happens then?
It's good and bad.
Yeah, double-edged sword they call it.
Alhamdulillah, but I want to touch on so basically you've done like a bit of drop shipping, all this sort of stuff. So what makes you think, yep, okay, I think I'm gonna start selling? Is it like is someone nudge you towards it, or
the drop shipping lasted like for 3 weeks? I'm
like
not gonna lie.
Stuff, like
the fashion stuff was different because I already make things as it is. Naturally, there's not a time in my life where I wasn't making things. Since so let's say that as soon as I came to Australia, which was year 8 technically, so the subject textiles doesn't exist where I'm from. Like in terms of, it was fully academic in Somalia and Kenya. Come here and it's like, you can do art, you can do woodworks. That's straight away what I did. I did woodworks, art, photography, textiles. I chose every subject I could choose as creative. I was shocked. I fell in love with textiles. I was obsessed to the point where the teacher would be like, you have to leave, it's recess, Asiya. And then I used to beg her, miss, please. And she's like, all right, you can stay, Asiya. And she would lock me into the room because I was fascinated with the idea of I can think of something and make it into reality. It was just mind-boggling. So, and then I started to so when I figured how to make because it takes a bit of technique to learn how to sew and When I figured how to do it, and then I'd like make the girls' skirts shorter or like make it high-waisted for them, charge them $5 and stuff at school. Like even year 12, I won, like our school didn't have the teachers, like when he was giving the award, because we never had this award, and this is the first time, the fashion award, because Asiya found a way to make the school uniform like really fashionable. I wouldn't wear the stockings that you have to wear. I'd wear stockings that are matching the jumper, the hijab. I changed everything about the uniform, and they had no excuse to like giving me, like, you know how you get detention, because I was like, I'm following the rules, but he's like, she bends the rule.
She bends.
So I got an award from the actual principal. They're like, we never had this award. Asiya is like, and I'm like the second Muslim girl there, like the whole school, you know.
You know what I got for wearing white socks? Get detention.
Yeah, like that's what they used to do if I didn't wear the right hijab. But I found a way to break the rules by not wearing the uniform in a way as well, the same way.
Can't beat them, join them.
So I always made things. Since I learned how to sew, I never looked back until now. Even if ASIYAM doesn't exist, I know it until the day I die, I'll make things. It's not something I'll stop.
Gotcha.
Like I might not make it for business. If I decide I don't want it as a business, I will still make clothes for me. It's just not gonna stop.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's something I enjoy so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with creating a business, I got a question. I've been thinking about this, and this is a thing that like turns a lot of people away from like having like a personal endeavor. Like in terms of like living outside the 9-to-5 life, which is failure. You know, in failure, there's a lot of road bumps along the way. And I remember when we were starting Feeding Cam, and a lot of people do ask us, or have asked me in the past before and all that kind of stuff, who've wanted to start podcasts. I always tell them one thing, is like just start straight away. Like don't think about it, because the longer you think about it, what happens is you start to think of what can go wrong, what can go right, and you start to calculate. You play like sort of that God mentality, So I got a question, like obviously you've been running ASIYAM for quite a while now, a hot minute,
a hot minute. Your favorite word now.
My favorite word.
I obviously watched it.
You clearly watched it. But I was going to ask you, so like what role does failure play in running something like...
It's like every day. Like for example, the whole starting thing. Like I started knowing how do I know people are going to like it? I might like my clothes, but... other people to like it and want to give you their money, that's a big deal. Like, how do you do that, you know? So I was like, and how do I don't have the capital to start a store, and I don't want to do that. That kind of would turn me off. So I was like, okay, let's just make abayas, take photos, or whatever I'm wearing, dresses, take photos, post them on Instagram. And back then you couldn't even have a website on Instagram. There was no stories, none of that. Do you remember like Instagram was basic? And then I just posted it. People would DM me, and they would. And then we went on Snapchat. Me and my husband, we went on because he was like, "Make Snapchat." I was like, "Nah, I don't want to. I don't." He's like, "You have to." And then he forced me, and we went on this platform. He booked that Somali Dunk thing. He booked it. Somali Dunk, I had like when I first started the Instagram, I had like 40 followers. I remember all of you like, guys have to give me a shout. I forced everyone. I had no shame. I was like, everyone, post me on your story. I need followers. We need. And then I didn't know what that meant really. We just need to make noise really.
For sure.
Basically.
Like 500, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I have 500 followers.
That's a big number.
And then we went on that Snapchat thing, and then I was wearing my abayas, It was, I knew technically, I planned it. I was like, I'm going to wear my clothes and talk about another product and see because it's like, I think there was like 150,000 people there.
It's a big platform.
It's a big platform, but I have no idea what that means. I don't even have Snapchat. It was so weird. And I went on there and I'm trying to advertise something else, like talk about something else. And then the girls, every single person was like, oh my God, where's your abaya from? Where's your abaya from? I want it. Yeah. I have the photos. I had so much orders. I have no other way to take it. I'm like, follow me on Instagram, DM me. I was taking orders on DM and PayPal. Like that's
and you build the following.
And then when they gave me the money, then I'd go buy the stuff and make it.
That's mad.
And I got tired of making. That's how one day I think I had 2,500 followers from them. And I was like, oh shit, sorry.
You're good.
They really do like my stuff. So they gave me more encouragement to.
Gotcha.
And then more bloggers, big bloggers. I had 3,000 then DM me like, oh, we love your things. Can you send it to us? I was like, what? Yeah, right now I will.
You actually like my stuff.
It was wild. So it just kept going. And then that Doha stuff got invited. So it slowly, even though I'd feel like let's say today it's not working.
What Doha thing?
Wait, let me first finish
Gotcha.
Let me finish the fair. Even though I feel like, oh, it's not good enough. Whenever I felt like there's someone will reassure you, or some customer, something, always put something to reassure you, you're going the right direction.
For sure. Keep pushing.
And my biggest worry was starting a social media brand, with the face thing. I have an issue with. I couldn't, cause
be publicly out there.
Not just me, even the models. I had a problem with I haven't accepted that you could be fully hot and be Muslim girl and wear covered stuff and be on so I couldn't. I was like, how do I compete with all these naked people? So I used to have a hard time, and then we discovered you can actually just cut the face off and people might. I wanted to give it a go. Cut the girl's necks off, take the photo from neck down, all the way until like halfway, until like 5,000. I think I was my own model. Like I would take the photos and then like the other girls, the key, and then we'll take it, the key. Look, they would cut the neck.
Crop.
The key would take one, we'll crop. We'd sit together, we'll crop.
Crop it off, and then after that's how you sold the photos.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd post photos of bloggers because they're a big deal, and then like in terms of attraction, you know, they're big like followers, and then so I'll post their face, and then a while later I'm feeling more religious. I'm like, delete.
You delete the photos as you go along.
As I go along, So it's a battle. To me, the failure thing is literally a daily thing, I think.
Yeah, it happens every single time.
Every single day you feel like, oh, you know, am I doing something wrong?
But when it comes to this sort of stuff, obviously you have a passion for what you're doing, and
it's fun.
All that sort of stuff. So like, failure will be a very slim margin, wouldn't it?
Like in terms of for me, but as a business is different.
But I know what you mean. Yeah. So for you, how would you define failure in this situation?
Failure is, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really believe in failure. I know it sounds really arrogant. I don't really believe in failure.
Does not sound arrogant.
I don't think I can fail. Like if I learn something, I'm like, I'm good. I'm the type that's, if something bad happened, like okay, last 2 weeks ago we were supposed to go to Fashion Week. Bro, the pandemic happened. We can't go. We were packing in the car going, and we couldn't go.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. But then everyone's so sad for me. I'm like, guys, it's all right. Like it wasn't. That's me. As soon as it's not meant to be or something goes wrong, I'm like,
bro,
I just get over it.
Think about this. I'm confused. Yeah.
You
get a call up for the Australian Fashion Week. Yeah. One of the biggest day in terms of in the industry.
Yeah.
All right. Probably one of the biggest fashion weeks after the Big Four. Would you say?
It's IMG, like they're the same people as New York, like they own
the New York Fashion
and they might like one.
Yeah, but essentially
one brand. Yeah,
New York
IMG
Fashion
is
Week,
one brand,
Paris, London, and what's the last one? New York, Paris, Milan. They're the four biggest ones.
Yeah.
And then technically you can say like Australia and a couple of others are like up there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, Asiya, you can probably explain the story, probably better than I. But she gets a call up for this, you know what I mean? And usually this is something like people pay for just to have a spot there.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I'll let you. I'll let you take away the story. Actually, I'm taking over from the story.
No, it's alright. Let's go back to the failure stuff.
This is going to lead back to the failure.
We'll go back. Yeah, but failure to me, that's what I mean. Like even if it seems like a failure to other people, I'm just like, to me, it doesn't feel like like, you know, I don't see it as a failure. Did I learn something? Yeah. A failure is like making a mistake, like.
But essentially,
Allah makes mistakes.
I would feel like a failure if, for example, if I started to do more, like started to take off the hijab slowly, putting this on, putting that, like I would feel like a failure then.
Sure.
But in this world, none of this stuff mean that much to me, so I wouldn't feel a failure. It's really hard for me to justify. Like, I'm like, did I learn something? Yeah, I did. You know, did someone die? No. Like,
it's not that big of a deal.
It's not that much. Yeah,
it is what it is type of thing sometimes as well. Because on that day, like going back to obviously the Fashion Week thing, bags are packed on the way to the airport and everything, and they're announcing the restrictions. You know how Victoria's, you don't know if you can leave, you can know what. So you're finding out, and mind you, this is an opportunity. You go into another city, and basically you hear the news that we're completely in lockdown. We've got 10 more cases, and everyone's like on edge. Are we going to go into lockdown? And it was almost obvious that we're going to go into lockdown. And then boom. And I remember we were shooting the SEM episode, and after the SEM episode, because I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, I called. So I was like, are we going? She goes, yeah, I'm in my car. I'm going to the airport right now. And then after the premiere of thingy, New South Wales says the cutoff was 4:00.
And our flight was 6:45.
I'm like, how do you feel? She goes, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, because...
Okay, what? I said, this is a big day for your business.
Did they still go though? Do they still have in the fashion?
Because majority of brands, majority of Australian designers are not from Melbourne. So only 7 brands missed out, and I was one of them. That was it. The rest, like the show goes on. It was,
Sydney was good. Sydney was good.
No, but regardless. So this is just all types of fashion. This isn't just modesty and stuff like that.
No, they never had modesty. They've never had any Muslim. So they called me up. They're like, hey, we've never had this. It was so random. It was on Eid day. Yeah, I was like, maybe this is my Eid gift from Ilahi.
You gotta stop being humble, bro. Because that right, this is like they just opened a category, a subcategory.
No, they never even opened the category. The girl just DMs me, hey, give me your email. Asiya, I have someone that I'm gonna connect you with.
Yeah.
And I was like,
she worked for IMG.
She's like a huge manager, because we became friends on Instagram. We've been friends for a while, and then like nothing, like just friends. And she randomly DMs me, give me your email. Asiya, I'm gonna connect you to someone. And I'm like, Fashion Week is coming up. It's way too late to do a show. Like, what's up? I was like, whatever. She DMs me, emails me, She's like, do you want to participate in the suits? Because we've never had any Muslim or modest or any of this ever. And we thought maybe it would be a good opportunity for other people to see. I was like, what? Like, all my life, I've always wanted to go there. Like I didn't care about any other fashion weeks because the opportunity, not even the fashion show. I don't care about fashion shows. It's more of there's gonna be buyers. There's gonna be like press. There's gonna be a lot of important people there that you could network with. It was more
definitely.
of
It was an opportunity.
I don't like fashion shows because it's very. They're very haram.
Yeah, the concept,
really
the concept of a fashion week doesn't like align with your views.
No, I never I done it twice, and both times I was so uncomfortable. I didn't like it. I said I don't do my own fashion shows even.
All the two that you did was it the
Melbourne Fashion Week,
Gotcha.
And I was like, I'm not like I don't think I want to. It's not for me. Even when I try to do modern market stuff, I don't listen to music. I know some people think it's okay, it's not haram, or it's so uncomfortable when you're conscious about it, and then they're gonna do it, and you're like, I didn't sign up for this, So I'm like, I don't want it. I don't like. You don't get much out of it, really.
Because you don't control the environment.
You don't control the environment.
That's 100%.
And people feel uncomfortable if you say don't turn. Like even the mod market I did once, it was like, oh, I thought it was gonna be a Muslim environment. I guess people think you're crazy for not wanting music. But it's like.
I get you. But it kind of defeats the purpose if you're being honest, Yeah. Because for me. Oh, I'm talking about for me, don't about me. But basically, like if they're like promoting something, like for example, to do with Islam, you would want to like represent Islam in the best way possible. In the best way, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like kind of going against the status quo of like, okay, but you have to have a fashion, for it to be a fashion runway or for it to be a fashion event, there has to be this kind of aesthetic or this atmosphere or something like that. This stuff has to be there. We're supposed to be going against the grain carpet, you know what I mean?
No, even the first fashion week when they invited me, Melbourne Fashion Week, I'm like, I think the first ever like Muslim like or modest to ever be in a schedule. There's a big difference between like being an actual, like doing your own event and being in the fashion schedule, like having your name as part of the designers, But then it was so exciting. I told the stylist, because there's a lot of people involved. So I gave the stylist my hijabs, everything, how to do it, a few hours even beforehand. And then on the fashion runway, everyone's congratulating, everyone's excited. I'm like, model walks out one by one. None of them are wearing hijab. Not one of them is wearing the hijabs that I gave him. She even asked me, how do I do it? Because she didn't want to put the hijabs on at the start. She goes, nah, it looks better without it. I said, no, the whole point of me being here is because I'm a Muslim and my clothes are for Muslim people, majority. Other people can wear it, but I am like a Muslim girl. It makes no sense. Exactly. And she's like, okay, at least 3 girls only I'll put on. We negotiated, okay, fine. One by one, they walk out, nothing. I was sitting there so devastated. I was like, shocked. It's supposed to be exciting, but it was like this is disgusting. I was really upset. So I complained. I talked to the managements are nice, but there's so many middle people everywhere that you don't know. Yeah, it was. Yeah. The environments are not as exciting as it seems. Really, it's just.
Were you excited for your first fashion week though?
Of course, it's like what you dream of as a kid, and then not a kid, but like as a fashion student and all of that, and then all of a sudden. Yeah. It's like, it's actually, you don't belong, really. Like, this is not for me. Yeah. But if I had a different mindset, maybe I would have been okay with it. Yeah. But because I'm like I'm so conscious of Ilahi. Like, I don't care how big of a deal you are. If it's going to go against what, like, it doesn't mean that much to me.
You have to stick to your values at the end of the day. Because
I'm always going to, like, regret. If I consciously made a decision that's haram, knowing it was haram, I can't do it. I won't do it. If it's accident,
100% that happens. You can only
but
be
me knowing I can't do it.
You knowing the fact that
and I'm okay to not like have to be in a fashion business. I have a job, like I'm alright, I don't have to pay rent, like I'm okay.
Is that a struggle though, then having a business which isn't sort of like?
But I like don't depend on these people. I don't know if you know, but Melbourne Fashion Week, the lady said I've been following you for a year. And then I never contacted them. Like it wasn't like the other way around. I don't need anyone really. If you think about it, because of social media, you actually like it's your talent. Talent speaks. That's it.
100%, I think it goes back to the idea that you do this out of love rather than pleasing other people. And
even if it's business, I'll call you, I'll talk to you business. But if it's not, if you're gonna tell me sell bikini today or tomorrow, I'm alright. I don't have to work with you. There's gonna be someone else that's gonna say yes.
Provide business opportunity for sure.
Even business, like even if I contact you, I'm just not like meet my terms.
100%.
That's awesome. Wallah. No, honestly though, like it's very rare to find someone like that. To be honest with you, especially in that industry, you hear, for example, like I remember Halima Aden was talking about it, like
Yeah, that was
See,
a big
she's
thing.
a guided person, mashallah, tabarakallah.
Mashallah. Like in the way she looked, she had to look back at what she did, and she goes, "Can't believe I wore jeans on my head and that sort of stuff." Like,
and she's so young as well. People don't understand. She's actually started like what 20.
How old is she now?
Nah,
she's
I was
23,
she's
not
like
even
19.
Yeah, 19. Yeah,
19
she's
when
not
she
even that
started,
old.
yeah.
Like to, like yeah.
The start from a
Eli
young-
loves her clearly, you know.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, if you finish it off with that bit.
Yeah.
So
I think you're adding a bit to that.
No. I was gonna say like how much do you stress like your values when it comes to this sort of stuff? Like, is it at the forefront of what you do
all day? If you know me, you know that's my biggest concern all the time. I know it sounds so bad. I'm like, I could get more traction. I could do way more if I did more haram.
Yeah, I get exactly.
Does that make sense? Like, there's so like Instagram, even TikTok. I have been holding back for so long because I'm like, it's so hard. You know, it's so hard because how are you gonna do it with not being haram? You can do it. It's just not as exciting as people that are like.
And it cringy too. Let's be honest. I've seen these fashion guys on TikTok, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing posing if you're a dude? Honestly, that sort of stuff. Just I don't know, man.
You can if you're smart. Like, if I'm not gonna lie, if I was a guy, I would. I'm not gonna lie. I would make money from it because either way you're there. Like, think of it like this. Like, what do? You go on social media. If I was a boy, it's less restricting as a Muslim.
I get you, yeah.
I would literally do it because it's a great opportunity. It's there. It's an easy way to make money. Go in your room, go to the streets, take photos, get sponsorship. Like, you can get such a good opportunity as a guy.
Yeah.
It's a business because you're already there. You might as well get paid
I
for it.
I agree with you. But the thing that I don't rate is, you know, oh God, I can't act it out because I'm sitting down. You know, the guy that sits there and he does this sort of stuff and then he's touching his thing and he'll just look around and he'll do this. Bro, come on, bro, you're a dude, man.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Have some self-respect.
Wallah, don't do that.
Yeah, but you can be manly and still like.
Oh yeah, take the photo.
Yeah, you could do. I think
change the angle up.
There's way more opportunity for guys on social media than as a Muslim girl.
Definitely.
It's so hard. Like, you have to wear tight clothes for you to like. You have to. The amount of people that say, "I see, why don't you make?" Even when I do a little bit tight stuff, I'm like, I'm so subconscious. I tell the girls, I'm like, when they ask me, "Oh, what size should I wear?" I'm like, listen, I didn't make the pleated dresses by itself. I'm telling you, I won't wear it by itself. I wear it with the abaya. Like, your choice what you're gonna do with it after that.
You can only control so much as well. Do you know what I mean?
But definitely. Like, people like, but people would prefer if you sold tighter stuff. I'm like, well, go buy it from other places.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I designed essentially.
Essentially.
But yeah, going back to the Halima Adam thing, I remember when that was unfolding, I was confused. You know what I mean?
Why would you be confused? I was so proud of it. I was so emotional. I was so happy.
First of all, I didn't understand it entirely when it first came out because obviously, like, when you see like Instagram, everyone's just congratulating. Everyone's like, oh well, this person, she dropped all her sponsorships and stuff, all for the sake of her beliefs.
The thing is, you can't drop the sponsorship.
What?
She's like almost
she
in
lost
jail.
them technically.
No, they won't leave her. That's why she did that, so she can get out of the contract.
Yeah.
They won't. You're actually like under.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. Distracting us, man.
What happened? Huh?
Okay, man. Sorry, carry on.
How did that not?
No, but honestly, you gotta rate the moxie behind. You also see, for example, God, it's making this a Somali podcast, but Chunks, when he goes, he doesn't want to do what's it called anymore. He doesn't want to do music and whatever. He was just fulfilling Chunks. You know Chunks from the UK. Chunks? He's got like 2.5. Anyways, he done music for a bit. Yeah.
He was trying to describe it to me.
Yeah.
No, I don't do like stuff like that. I told you I watch podcasts on YouTube.
My apologies. But basically, that he basically quit music. And he said it's because it's against my beliefs and whatever. But he had to fulfill a certain amount of promises that he had made beforehand, contractually, because he could get into big trouble. But that sort of stuff for me, like,
it's crazy, man.
It takes a lot, man. 'Cause I don't even know how I'm gonna be in that situation.
Like, and even the Halima Aiden thing, like, people don't understand the back. Like, every time I've been to Fashion Week, I literally don't want to be there. It feels like you don't. I don't like.
You don't feel what?
I don't feel comfortable.
Gotcha.
I don't like the music. There's alcohol everywhere. The entire situation is not built for us.
And it's
I
not
don't
a
like
Muslim
it.
environment.
It's not fun. It's it's just not fun.
No, I get
it's
you.
Not.
Do you feel like they're using modest fashion as a token?
They are. And it's not like, how do I say, the modest fashion it's a business, it's money. It's Muslim definitely. People, it's like, think of it from a non-Muslim perspective.
A niche.
It's free money. It's like the Chinese market. That's a huge market for Australia, Like, we can't live without them. In terms of luxury market, like in terms of luxury, who buys Gucci? It's like 30% of Louis Vuitton is like China market. Like it's just pure money. So think of it from money perspective. But what people don't understand is like you're being silly. You're being used to take the money out of a Muslim's pocket, putting it out of into other. So one of the reasons why I stay is because I'm like, what am I going to let them win? No, I'm going to actually compete and get that money back. Like it's only accepted because we're not doing it. Like, does that make sense? We're not taking charge. We're the Muslim, like there's no one leading. Where's the big, like no one's leading. So I'm going to take money out of your pocket because you're sleeping. You're a sleeping giant, you know?
Sure.
You're taking I'm going to take your money.
And everyone's too busy pointing the finger like.
Tommy Hilfiger is a businessman. He's not even a designer. He's never touched clothes a day in his life. He doesn't know how to design it. He says it all the time. He's a businessman. So he doesn't care. And hypocrisy is something we live with as Muslims. We care. But it doesn't, to him, it's like, this is money. Money is money, business.
Whatever brings him money in his pockets.
Why do I care?
Not?
I'm going to make hijabs. I'm going to work. Halim Aiden left the entire fashion industry. Now he's bringing her back. No one will work with her. But he's like, this is a great opportunity for me. No one wants to work with her. It's an empty, you know. People, bloggers don't understand. Working with all these big brands, they're using you to take the Muslims, and then they're taking that money. Like,
what, she wants to come back to the industry?
She did. Like, she's not coming back to the industry, but she's working with Tommy Hilfiger. I think she announced something the other day.
I thought she's against the industry, or was she against certain her agency?
Her being in a contract and being forced to do certain things
that she doesn't want to do.
Yeah, and when you're in a contract, you have to.
Gotcha.
It's so messy. The whole fashion.
Is the industry dirty, as I say? Like the deeper.
It is so like from a Muslim, we're not in it. Like, to be honest, the entire modest fashion is a new thing. I don't even call myself a modest designer. Like, it's I don't believe in that term at all. I hate that term. Because there's a big difference, because people are making it seem like you have a choice in how you dress. You don't have a choice in how you dress. Like Islam is a Sharia, it's a law. You know, it's like saying, "Oh, I feel like eating pork today." Like, no, you're gonna wear your hijab because it's part of, like, you know.
You can't pick and choose.
The thing is very like a fluid term. Because people are like, you don't judge her because, you know, she's being modest. She can dress how she wants.
It's a politically correct term as well.
Yeah, but I don't believe it.
I get you. And if you say something out against that, then sort of that's
like
that's
don't judge her because Like, I'm not judging, but it's just Islam is already set. We already have rules. Say I'm not ready, like, or I'm not feeling it, or I'm not ready to put fully hijab on, but I can't say I can't change Islam. Islam is already there.
100%.
Use it as it is.
Going back to Halima Aden real quick,
She loves Halima Aden.
He's trying to. He's trying to.
Hey, don't cap. I had a crush on her, but we're gonna cut that. We're gonna cut that bit out. We're not keeping that on the app. But what was it like seeing Halima Aden wear your clothes on the big stages?
Oh my god, that was probably. See, one of the things I'm proud of is that, like, she wore all my designs. Like, almost every design I've made, she's worn it.
Gotcha.
And I took it as, like, I know it sounds arrogant, but I took it as, because she's so modest and my clothes are modest. Even though they were paying her, like Milan Fashion Week, all of the fashion weeks when they were paying her to go to those places, Ahabas, she would wear my stuff, like, you know, and because I'm like, my stuff are nice and modest. So she would wear my stuff, and I'm not paying her, and these people are paying her thousands and thousands of dollars. So it gave me like mashallah, you know, like, your stuff are not haram.
But I heard something, and correct me if I'm not wrong, models can't really choose what they wear.
On the runway they can't, but outside of the runway, that's why when they have a choice, they wear stuff that they're not getting paid to do.
Gotcha.
So on the runway, you don't, like, when I have a girls modeling for me, obviously they don't have a choice and say, "Oh, I'm gonna wear Tommy Hilfiger for your shoot." Nah, go home. Like, you know, that's not how it works.
Gotcha. So how the hell did Halima Aden get your clothes in?
Well, now we hooked it up now. Her her management are really nice. Like, even Yasmin J, the blogger from Sydney. Like, she met her in Istanbul and stuff. She said, you can't talk to Halima Aden. She said she had so much security around her, you can't even, like, get in, like, contact with her.
Wow.
So I tried to say, I just want to tell her something, and she goes, I told her about ASIYAM. She said, I told her, like, you know the girl the stuff that you're wearing, ASIYAM, you know, she's from Melbourne. She goes, oh, no way. She goes, I love her stuff. I was like, thanks. Yasmin was giving me a shout out from Dubai. She's messaging me. I was like, oh my God, you know. So she doesn't know who I am, but she just, just like no one knows who I am.
100%.
But she liked my clothes. She goes, oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, so you regularly, like, send it to her and then.
Yeah, because her manager liked it. She said she would like it as well. So I'm like,
wow.
You can't, like, if I was to say, like, do paid ads and stuff, there's no way you can afford her, because she's already signed to, like, minimum, I'm sure it's like 20K or something, like, for them to do. They get paid.
Models get paid nice,
her type of agency, because they were like.
If I'm telling you, you should start with getting that gig, bro.
No,
Yeah, but not in Australia. Not in Australia.
Hijab house,
Yeah, bro. Plead a dress would be nice.
I wanna touch on. I wanna touch on something real quick, and this obviously, like, you don't have to comment on it or anything like that. But the state of like modest influences in this day and age, like. I don't really want you to talk too much on certain people or whatever it is.
Yeah,
but
of course, yeah.
I know you've obviously made it clear that your stance is that
I feel
it's an obligation for us to be covered. Like, it's what God set, and there's no such thing as like rearranging stuff. I wanted to see how you feel about the current climate, like in that environment. You know what I mean?
Actually, yeah, we haven't talked about this. Like, if it's real, you know, when things are new, you get shocked at first. But then when a behavior is around for so long, you sort of get like you know, at first when you do something haram, you feel like, you know. But then after a while, it becomes so. This whole like influencer business is becoming more and more haram. But at the same time, we're getting more desensitized to it. So it's not like as shocking, like putting the hijab all the way away, like that. Everything was getting like, it's like, yeah, I don't know. Personally. There are some people that do it right. There are some people that are covered that you can influence appropriately, but I think you have to be careful. It's a dangerous game to play because if you influence well, then you're getting that award for it. If you influence bad, then you're also getting. So to me, it's a very scary.
Oh, we'll cut this out this bit, yeah.
Why?
We'll just say a bit of because I want to give you like names and thoughts and all that kind of stuff here. But you got like and whatnot and what they do. Yeah. Yeah, like that's what I think Sohail is sort of trying to like.
No, I wasn't talking about.
No, he's talking about
people.
in general. I think
I'm talking about like there's a vaster audience. Like, for example, there are YouTubers that they've built their brand and they've built their foundation of Muslim women. And they basically they've not exposed, but they've basically like exploited. They've gone, hey, look, it is what it is, and if you don't like me now, even though you've liked me all this time because of what I did,
for sure,
like you're just a judgmental toxic hijabi. Basically, that term toxic hijab has been thrown around a fair bit.
That's what I was saying. The whole modesty, the word modesty is kind of part of that. Like, I hardly call myself I don't like it because
it's fluid.
Because it's very fluid. It's very against Islam. I think you can't pick and choose what is right for you in Islam. You can't just say it's wrong. Full stop. Like, I'm doing something haram. But like, you know, like even me, when I post the photos with faces, like I'm saying, with full makeup and stuff, I kind of feel guilty, and I know to me it seems haram, and I'm like, I'm not gonna justify it and say, nah, it's fine for a girl to be sexy and like that kind of defeats the purpose of hijab, and I know it. It's very like so that's why when I feel uncomfortable, I go back and delete those photos because I know it. You know, even selling things that are haram, because I'm like, you're gonna sell. Mufti Mang said it. I stopped selling anything tight after that. Even people that go to parties or weddings, I stopped it because whatever you wear or make, and someone buys it, you're getting the same dambu as them. But if I do it in the right way, if I make abaya and this girl was possibly not gonna wear abaya, I get that ajr as well.
Yeah, subhanAllah.
So instead of leaving, if we back away, I feel like if we leave the space, then we're kind of leaving it to.
Because life comes down to choices in the end, you know?
If I'm saying like in terms of the influence, if everyone says, nah, it's too haram, social media, leave, then we're leaving it to...
We become... We become the sleeping giant, essentially.
Again, and if you don't defend yourself like hey, there are some girls that dress appropriately, but majority...
So then what is the solution, or what's the way out? What do you reckon?
What I reckon
is
more people be like... proud of being a proper Muslim.
Yeah, I think it just goes back to the sunnah, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's...
be proud of and be advocates. Like, even, for example, what you guys are doing, young men together talking about Islamic stuff. Most young people like you guys don't do this, and you know it too.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It's weird. Like, oh, you guys are so religious. Like, you know, but if you don't and you back up, then...
So then who's going to do it? You're thinking, like, if we normalize being... not the word modest. If we normalize basically like
inappropriate behavior,
dress,
Islamic identity as well.
So if we like try and reverse it by like making it appropriate to be in line with the sunnah,
with the sunnah, speaking louder than them.
Basically, So basically making it the norm, or make it, which is it brings me back to some other stuff that I think our main goal of this podcast was basically like, we're kind of guys around the area that people know as, you know, like, can get in and amongst it. You can be like very like social and stuff like that, but we want to normalize deen, you know?
That's what I'm saying. There's not a lot of young men like you guys doing this. I get shocked every time, like, mashallah, like, it's not normal. But if you normalize it, there's other weak people that would have been shy to be really religious. They'll be like, nah, I'm proud because look at these boys, you know?
Yeah.
Basically planting the seed.
Yeah, but there could be a bunch of people scared to pray in public, but if they see you guys doing it, they will come and do it. So you could be the leaders, because we're always point fingers, but we're the part of the problem as well. Like, if you're not going to lead, then who are we leaving it to?
Yeah, wallah.
Yeah.
Wallah.
I think as well, like on the religious side of things, like we don't consider ourselves to be religious whatsoever.
Not
like,
religious, but appropriate.
Like, yeah, appropriating that thing, because like Islam is part of our identity, just like we love sort of sports and what do you call it, like reading books and like having fun in any other way possible. Like it's normal to do these things. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to go the other way. Do you get what I mean? But I've realized like people. Yeah. Anyway,
I say it's the core of our being, basically.
Yeah.
Well, like for example, well, you know, like when you get that every now and again, you meet someone, they go, "Oh, you're so religious. You pray 5 times a day." Like, what do you want? Give me a cookie.
That's the basic.
You know, Chris Rocker, he goes, "What you want, a cookie?"
No, that's not basic. Yeah, like that. You're barely doing the basics. Yeah, that's basic.
I mean? So, like, I understand where you're coming from when it's like, okay, we do follow modesty stuff, but it should be normal.
Yeah.
It should be normal. Not only normal. We should be like an example.
Yeah.
I should be I'm proud to wear. I don't care. Like, I have events, I have gatherings for bloggers and stuff like that. I started that naturally, yeah. But wallahi, not one. I have videos, you can hear it, and then when we show them clothes and stuff, everyone's like, "Oh my God, there's no music. She forgot to turn on the music." I have the clips, and they're like, "She forgot to turn on the music," and then other people are like, "I think she doesn't listen to music." It's on purpose, like, because I want you to be normal about it. Like, I'm going to be dressing well as doing all the things that you do. I'm going to get my MBA. I'm going to have a marriage. Like, I'm going to have all the things that normal people will have, but I'm still going to be like a proper Muslim. Like, this is like a long term. You know, we're going to die anyway.
For sure.
And you guys have got ASAP Rocky wearing hijabs now. Come on.
It's fashion.
Wallah, it's there, man.
Yeah, he's actually fashion.
Yeah, he's fashion.
Hey, what's it like being featured in Vogue?
Oh my gosh.
Yo.
Multiple times.
There we go.
I'm joking. I'm getting comfortable now.
We love it.
No, I'm joking. Nah. I know it sounds weird, but like it doesn't like one thing I've learned is you get so excited and look forward to all of these things and you think it's gonna mean everything. But then when you get it, you're like, oh, this is fantastic. And then I'm like, and then what? Like, you know, it's I have a print with my clothes on. Yeah. That's pretty good.
That's crazy, yeah.
That's crazy. In my whole life, I never thought there will be, like, you know, like my design. Forget about my design. A Muslim black girl wearing my clothes on Vogue strap. Yeah. That's just not something you can think about or dream about, yeah.
You know, I remember the day when you were featured in Vogue. I remember what I was doing exactly that day. Because I actually sent it to him. I'm like, oh, yo, like, am I tripping? Or you're like, you're featured in Vogue.
Wait, can I ask you a
question?
It's
actually a big thing.
No, wait. How did you find out about Vogue? Don't tell me you were walking past and you guys just like, let me check out the Vogue magazine.
Instagram.
You would have seen it on Instagram. People post everything. Yeah.
That you see.
I was so excited. I was like, I couldn't leave the house. I was like, shut up.
Yeah.
Go past Coles. Go quickly.
Yeah. That's
awesome.
That's crazy. Someone who had an idea who, what do you call it, bought Calvin Klein in Somalia for $100. Now in Australia,
that's so radical,
what do you call it?
Did you pay $100 for Calvin Klein?
That's what I'm saying.
He missed the concept the
whole
time.
I thought I got $100 and maybe I could afford it.
No, I said the entire $100 because that's how much it costed, and I could normally had only $3-4. You know, as a kid, you just buy lolly with it. My money normally went to lollies or this and that, but I never had that much in one go. And then because I've been looking to buy that forever, and I was like, yes, I literally didn't buy anything else. I went and gave them the whole 100 and took the top.
That crazy.
Yeah, like when I think about it, I'm like, that's so weird that I did that.
100%.
Branding I guess that tells you about branding, you know, even though I know nothing about Calvin Klein. I don't know what CK stands for, but I knew CK was status, you know, like I need this.
Yeah. Speaking about branding, so what's it like having a business that's completely online, like on Instagram?
It's very convenient.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
And it's
very
weird
flexible.
Too, by the way.
Huh?
I think it's weird too, technically. Well, at least when you started. You know, it's
at the time,
At the time, it's normal to have like a brick and mortar store.
I literally didn't have a website. It was just DMs first, and then it was websites, and then I had to figure all that stuff. Shopify came along. Like when Shopify, a lot of things is at the time, like the times that we're living as well. Like alhamdulillah, we're living in a time where you don't have to rent a whole store to have a store. You can have a store on Shopify. Before Shopify, it was very hard. You had to pay a lot of money to build a website. Okay. But now with Shopify, you don't have to. It's so easy. Life is, I mean, it's not easy, but it's much easier
You
than
can make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I love having to not have a shop, having orders get picked up, you know, by like the delivery people. Not like I just love everything about it. The only hard thing is you want to feel and touch the clothes. Like I'm a hypocrite about that. Whenever I'm online, I'm like, oh, I really want this, but I'm like, I just don't know how it feels. Let me quickly run to David Jones and feel it or something, you know.
Yeah.
I do that, but I'm not in that. Like I don't know. I have other important priorities right now that if I did have a business on like in store that I will regret later on, and I can't do that. So this is working really well for me
At the moment.
At the moment, alhamdulillah.
So do you get the stock shipped to your house?
Yeah.
And then you just like you're filling out the
you
orders
just
yourself?
fill the orders, you send them. You have contracts with different like what do you call them? People that pick up stuff. What are they?
Yeah. Well,
The courier.
Couriers, that's
we're all
it,
looking for the
yeah.
word.
Not
We're
on
like,
the podcast.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Different, yeah. So it's so much easier than like having a store, because a store, I did the pop up at Northland and stuff. It's so exhausting. Like having a real shop, having to hire people is so hard, man.
Yeah.
How many times I have hired people? It's
Yeah.
I don't like that part of like a business. Having people suck. Like to find a good worker is so hard.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Oh,
people do it. Yeah.
I was just cussing someone
No,
else.
no. I'm talking about in general, like hiring someone to run your store is so hard. I don't know how actually people find good
Yeah,
employees.
definitely.
I'm always like, nah, leave. Just you're giving me more work.
You the type of person, like, for example, you need the control of everything.
Not really. I just want you to do it well.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Like you will get very particular about what you want, and you're so particular that you'd rather do it yourself than someone else to do it for you.
I'm not that like OCD. I'm okay. I'm flexible. Especially when you have a business, you have to be flexible.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Like the amount of things people stuff up in China, like you have to. The colors that you want might not be ready. The design you want can't be done. Things will be delayed. Like you have to be flexible all day. You're compromising.
Yeah.
If I wasn't, then I don't think. I think it would be hard to run a business if you're constantly trying to like micromanage everything. Then you can't. I don't know. You wouldn't sleep well.
Yeah. You can't control everything.
You can't. You have to be okay with not like things not being okay. Like,
Okay, yeah, wallah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Wallah.
You know, that's one thing I learned starting this podcast. Yeah, in hindsight, I was like, and this goes back to what I said earlier on about like, if I thought about, hey, let's do a podcast. Because one of the things, people don't know this yet, but when we started the podcast, like we really didn't give it much thought. You know, it's like, oh, the idea of a podcast doing this, we're like, yeah, let's start it. You know, I mean, boys, we had a chat about it, and then boom, we started it.
You didn't get scared of it.
But if we had thought about the fact that like I don't know if people don't know this yet, but like the Monique episode, the first Monique episode, when we had like her, so we had mics and everything that we bought and we're using for the start, and we were recording off iPhones at the start, So what happened on that episode specifically, all the mics are working fine, except the one that Monique was using, and the mic had busted. You know what I mean? And if we had calculated all those things, like, oh, the fact that like maybe one day down the line, a mic is going to get busted, or this problem's going to go down the line, man, I'd be the first one to be like, nah, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Because
you're not, that's
we want that we want that thing straight away. We want that success and all that kind of stuff. But you learn, like, beyond that there's much more work that goes into this. You know what I mean? You just got to put your head down and actually like do the hard yards.
Like, being naive. That was me when I started the whole Instagram business thing. I was sort of naive about the whole, like, even the whole Aleem Aid. Everything I did, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know. I didn't know contacting bloggers and giving them clothes and stuff like that was a marketing tactic. I didn't know, I didn't know doing giveaways. I did everything naturally. I didn't know commenting back on it. Like, I just did it because it felt right. I was like, comment back on everyone, reply back to people, drop off orders, even if it's going to be an hour because it's Eid, who cares? Give it to them. Like, if people come and they can't afford it, give him like, there's so many things you just got to do it. Yeah, but I didn't think about it because I was naturally doing it, but I didn't realize it was building a brand for me. It was like...
So to a degree, being naive is actually a good thing.
It's
to a
so
degree,
good.
yeah.
I think...
I guess when starting a business.
Yeah. Unless you want to make a massive business, then you can't be too naive.
I was gonna say, maybe not the best idea in a larger scale business.
Not in a larger scale, but it's good to get, like, I think, get
your feet wet.
Get going, and then you're like,
figure it out. Figure it out on the way,
as you go along.
It's better than, like, even doing the MBA. I learned way more from doing my own ASIYAM stuff than I learned, like, because when you run into a roadblock, you have to figure it out. Like, figuring out how to. The only reason I went to China is because I couldn't find manufacturing that could make pleats here. There's only one factory left that does pleats in Australia. like in Melbourne. That's
You
it.
charge your arm and a leg as well, yeah.
For 1 meter, it's like minimum 150 or something like that. Minimum 1 meter, and then buyers cost minimum is 3 meters. So by the time I didn't make it, it's already 300 something before you even made it. So like it was just.
People pay $1,000 for abaya.
Before you even make it though, like that's what it's gonna cost you.
Just put CK somewhere. Smash it up.
So it was like, oh, I need to figure out a way because I really want plates. So I had to like go around the world, and finally China was like the place, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing I just clocked off right now, and I see a lot of people complain about this on Twitter and stuff. I think it's a perfect time to ask this question. A lot of people have a problem with the price of what do you call it? Yeah, modest clothing.
Oh, I love that you brought this up. I have such a pet peeve against it, but at the same time, this was one of my problems when I started.
Yeah.
But if you think of it, when you order a small cup from, you go to Macca's, you order a small latte, and you order a large latte, is there going to be the same price?
No.
Why not?
There's more. There's more coffee.
There's more coffee. There's more milk. There's more everything. More time it takes to make. People don't understand.
Good, man. NBA came in good.
Insulting me now. No, but that's what people don't understand. Buying a top from let's say Supre, it's like a boob tube. It's right here. All it covers is this much, and all it covers is that much. An actual abaya like this one, because it's skirt on top, it's even more. It's at least 5 meters.
Yeah.
The time it takes to sew is also much longer, which means the person making it also gets paid more per item.
For sure.
It costs more in terms of just logically it costs more.
People don't think logically.
But they can't, and they complain and complain. You're like, you're not thinking. Just go.
This is the usual Muslim community issue.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Muslim
people
Twitter.
that has a restaurant and you come in, oh brother, discount this, that, you know.
Yeah.
But you know.
No, but in that's discount, and then there's actual logistic of it. Even normal stores, they're not gonna I don't know, they're not gonna charge. Long dresses would cost more than a short dress in general.
Yeah, because there's more material.
Yeah, there's more material. That's why they complain. Yeah.
Every time you complain about Muslim,
so many people complain about it, which I understand. I'm like, I wish you understood the behind the scenes of it.
Yeah.
Even when I was in China, I was trying to buy linens and all this stuff, you know, and then the manufacturers don't do this. Your people don't I was so insulted. She goes, your people won't buy this. Your people don't like this. She doesn't mean it in an insulting way. She goes, your people like cheap things. Buy the cheaper things.
She's not wrong too.
But I took it to offense like that. She goes, they're not going to buy it. And later on now, I'm like, oh.
Is she right?
She was right. I was like, oh, she's right. People don't know the difference in high quality for material. She's actually right. People got so used to trashy fabrics that are you know.
Yeah, but they're happy to buy a $10,000 off-white shirt or.
Nah, they're probably not gonna do that.
You
Muslim community.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Only certain bougie guys want to be outside the box.
Not everyone will do that now.
Yeah. That's true.
I have one, but that's the problem.
Talk about himself. I don't think no one clocked it.
People are like, oh, you're attacking someone. I'm talking about myself.
I had to wink
I'm
at
the
it.
fool.
Yeah, I've seen Suhail's easy collection, but that's another conversation.
Really?
I've got one pair, but we'll keep going.
But I said a collection for a reason. Let's go.
I've got a football kit collection. That's the problem. Yeah, I've got an issue there. I have an itch for some reason.
But you can't wear them all the time.
I try.
Yeah.
I tried. Well, I try. It's like crack though for me.
Yeah.
Every episode he's wearing one.
every possible, bro. Sometimes I want to wear it to a wedding, but you just can't. You know?
You love it that
We're
much.
underneath for shit, but we'll pass on mine. Don't worry about me, my stupid collection. I have a question. So, obviously now, you figured out. Okay, I'm gonna do something creative. I've done a bit of this, a bit of that for people around me and stuff like that. And now I want to make a business out of it. What was the leap of faith? When was the leap of faith, and what was it? What pushed you towards it?
What pushed me the last straw where I was like, that's it, I'm starting an Instagram page. I didn't have Instagram page. I was off social media. I didn't need social media. But what made me that's it, I'm starting a business Instagram page was we were looking for abayas, me and my friend. We just couldn't find the right abayas we wanted. We wanted these specific colors from Dubai. There's a whole new trend that was happening. We just couldn't get it. There was one place that was selling it, and oh my God, when I say it was $2 shop stuff, and I was like, is this all we got? We're going around. She's got money in her pocket, and no one has anything to offer her. No one had the right colors, the right abayas for her. That's when I was like, this is, straight away, I was like, I'm going to start it. I'm going to do it. I can do it. And then that was it. I was like, let's make the abayas, take photos, post it. And then literally that was the day. I remember I was on Sydney Road and I was like, that's like, I made up my mind. I was like, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And that was it.
It's kind of like Gymshark, the Market Gap, the string vests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So basically, the Gymshark guys, they saw that they wanted these gym vests. So basically, a singlet with it just covers your nipples. Anyways, and then these guys, they ended up going, let's just sell this stuff out and make our own brand out of it. So they basically bought their own printing press and they made their own brand. And then they just sold string vests for the bin. And then they're like, hang on, we can do other things as well. What else is selling it? They started hanging it out to, so they go to like bodybuilder events and they pass it on to the bodybuilders. Here, steroid junkie, you take one, you take one, you take one. And then basically, then they just grew from that.
That's,
It's $1 billion business now, exactly, So I want to ask you now, going forward, inshallah, where do you see ASIYAM in the future?
I definitely don't want a small business. And like, that's what I came, the same way I said to you when I was doing the Amazon stuff, within 3 weeks, I was like, this is a lot of hard work and effort. And then it's going to take me the same effort to do something I like, that I can make great. So the same thing happened with me and mentally with ASIYAM thing. I was like, wait, having a small business is going to literally take the same effort as having a big business. Like, why eat a small pie, So that was like, as soon as that hit, I was like, that's it. I had already MBA in my to-do list, like before 30 anyway. I was like, I better get like I had that in mind, not knowing I was ever going to open a business. I just wanted an MBA.
It was always there,
Yeah, but then that was it. And then I went, and hopefully, so it could be $1 billion. No, but that's what I want. I don't want a small business anymore. I decided, I was like, I can learn the market. I'm learning the market behavior, all of that now for fun while I have time, while like I don't have to risk too much right now. So I can learn a lot of like the human behavior. And that's kind of what I'm doing with ASIYAM. I'm just telling everyone like my secret now. No, but I'm not embarrassed of it at all. Like 100%. I genuinely am like playing around with it to see, I don't want a small business. That's 100%. All I know.
Do you see yourself on Forbes?
Of course, I will be. I'll be there now.
I love that.
Yeah, it has to be under 40s. I can't make it to the 30s. It's going to be late by the time I make it there.
What's amazing about especially something in the creative field is the fact that nobody can emulate what you have in here.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Like for me, like, and I even told Abdul Ali this, like, inshallah, obviously I have goals, aspirations to be in that sort of area. But for me, it's like, it's amazing how the way everyone's like to you, no, the market's saturated now. You got Tom Hilfiger doing this stuff. But wait a second. He can't think like me.
Nah.
That's
exactly how I think.
Yeah. And that wallah, man, like, as long as you've got you and you've got your brain and your sort of creative
like, no one can come in. That's what I always say, because when people go, this is doing that, I'm like, I love it when people copy me, like, go ahead, which means I need to move on to a new, because I have so much here anyway. Like, I'll just get another file. What are you going to do? Like, come into my mind, copy me in my head?
That's heavy. That's music to my ears. I like that. Right, I had to say that. I was
but I agree with you. I actually think that you can't. But like good, like, I don't know. With business, what I've learned is just good product and creativity alone doesn't do it. Strategy, marketing, like persistence. Like, there's a lot more. Literally, when I got into it, the designing part is maybe 1% now compared to all the other things that go into it that make a good business.
Do you hope to do anything besides, the usual abaya and stuff like
that? I definitely do.
I don't want to, don't reveal anything. Me, coming soon, but
for the future, I do want to do way more than just what I'm doing. I definitely do. But with fashion, if you're going to do it, you need more capital. You can't just like run into it. And I don't believe in like bank debt, stuff like that, obviously. Most people run their stuff through bank debt. Most people. There's just no other way. Or venture capitalist or whatever, That's it. Like, even people don't understand how hard, like, I don't know if you guys know Modernisa, like Modernisa. It's like the main e-commerce for Muslims.
I think I've heard of it.
It's a huge brand. Modernisa.
Okay.
Anyway, they are one of the main like top dogs. They're the main ones. It took him since 2011 to have a e-commerce. He's a Turkish dude. From then, Goldman Sachs, all these people funded him. From 2011 until now, 2020, they were not profitable. People don't, like, he was not profitable, which is normal in a kick. So they just finally been...
they're in the green now.
No, they finally scaled to be like $1 billion company, but they're not making $1 billion. They just made their 150 million in terms of revenue. And they're making 150 million in revenue and not profitable. For 11 years.
That's crazy.
So in terms of, like, people don't answer. So if you want to have a big business, you have to be patient for a bit. You have to put a lot of money into the machine to feed the machine, and then sooner or later the numbers add up. You know, it's just a numbers game.
Just over
honestly,
time. Yeah.
Over time, it's just the numbers.
Yeah. What would you have told young Asiya when she was coming into the industry, like before starting a business? Something that you know now that you didn't know before.
Don't do a hijab stuff now.
Crop the head.
No, because my values are so like conflicted in it, you know.
Yeah,
like
sure.
I still contemplate. Like I can't wait until I get in contact with Mufti or someone. Like because until now, I'm like, now that I know what I know, how is it possible for me to do non-hijab stuff as well as hijab stuff?
Gotcha.
Like, you know, without falling into, because now I know I can. Does that make sense? The damage I can do in my mind, like I'm like
100%.
I could.
You're hungry.
But it's more of not hungry. I'm capable. I think I'm capable.
For sure.
So Mufti, you're gonna give Mufti drip. You know, imagine that, bro. Mufti make on some drip, bro.
Oh, that was
trying
crazy.
to give him some ASIYAM stuff.
I imagine,
I
love
think he'd
Mufti.
love that as well.
Yeah, I'm like his #1 fan.
So in touch with comedy as well. I was watching
He's
the
a
video.
legend, man.
I was watching a video the other
Did you
day.
see? I don't know if you guys. I'm a Mufti nerd. Did you see his last post with his
TikTok?
like with his wife or something? Like he's just.
Nah.
I was wanted to share my story. I can't deal with it.
Bro, that guy's
He
funny,
turned
bro.
off with the comments. This guy is just like.
This guy's hilarious.
He's just.
Have you seen him on
care
like
at
the
all.
swing where he's gone?
Yeah, you gotta go to the gym.
Yeah, I'm a huge Mufti fan.
Oh, he's a
Like,
legend.
fan,
Wallah,
yeah.
he's a legend.
I'm gonna spin this real quick. Yeah, let's get out of like the creative side of things, the design and whatnot.
Yeah.
I know you're a big book person. You know, what I mean, I know
Oh.
you're a heavy reader and stuff.
He
Ashraf
got
would love.
excited. Look at him.
Look at him. Ashraf behind the
Look at
camera.
his
I'm waiting for
Wallah, he's gas.
Is this all? Oh, this is all him. Yeah, this is all his stuff.
This is all Ashraf
Yeah.
right here.
I straight away I was looking at that. I was like, oh, I have that, but like that's the only one that stood like so far. You know,
Yeah.
0 to 1. I'm like, oh, I have like
Which
that's
one?
all I'm
Which one?
thinking.
0 to 1.
Yeah, 0
Ah,
to 1. I was like, oh, I have that.
That's
I
crazy.
have so many unnecessary books. Like
Oh, yeah.
I'm not embarrassed of my like nerdness from books.
Yeah.
Even Abdul, I like sometimes tell them when I'm overly excited. I'm like, here. Even the Chris Voss thing, I didn't
Yeah.
tell you for how long. I was like, I just felt like,
Bro, it's so bad to the point, like, for example, I'll get excited. You know how, like, we'll share books and stuff, yeah? I'll get excited for, like, a new book, and I'll be like, yeah, relax. Asiya does not know this one. So I go to Never Split the Difference that day. I went to her, and I'm like, bro, by the way, this is a book. You have to read it, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, I go to her, oh, Never Split the Difference. And she goes, what's it called? I go, Never Split the Difference. And she goes, oh, I read that, like, 5 years ago. And then after that,
I read it 4 times. Yeah.
and then she'll be like, yeah, I read it 4 times. And
I
then
read
guess what
that
she's
book
like to
4
me?
times.
Oh, I'm sitting his masterclass at the moment. You can have his account if you want. I'm
No,
like,
because that was in the pandemic and I had nothing to do. And I was actually sitting in his. I was like, you discovered him now and I'm doing his masterclass because I've had enough of the
Yeah.
book. I was like, okay, I think. And he did the masterclass. I was like, that's it. I only registered for that, just for him. But then there's other
Can you believe these
masterclasses. It's worth it, but someone even better than him is the Chris Igler or something. You know the Disney CEO. His one is just.
he's got a book on his own.
No, he has a masterclass because you get access to all of them.
Yeah.
You don't just do one. You get, his one was just
Like a
mind-boggling.
Patreon account, yeah.
The way he bought Pixlr, the way he convinced Steve Jobs, the way the way he bought like everything he did, I was like, this guy is a businessman. Like
Yeah.
he was better than Chris Voss. Chris Voss was nice for negotiating, but this one was tactic, strategy. Yeah, business different.
You
Yeah.
learn a lot as well from
Yeah.
all of that. You know, one thing as well, I was thinking while you were speaking before about the whole thing of like essentially what you were saying was like Muslims conforming
Yeah.
to like the status quo in the industry at the time. You know what I mean? Like as in like let's say hijabs become fashionable and what happens is hijabs go back and all that little stuff like that.
Convertibles.
Yeah, they convert. That's what they call it, the convertibles.
Yeah.
Sunroof.
Oh my god, you have crushing it too. That's so funny.
All the books. She's gonna be putting out books at the end.
No,
but I
but I
was
can't
thinking of
believe you're crushing
what do you
it,
call
yeah.
it? You know, Earl Nightingale.
Oh.
I know.
That's my secret. I don't talk to people about
I
that.
have
That's
to
a
bring it
secret.
up. I have to bring it up. And I was actually listening to that. I was like, okay, Asiya's coming on. I remember she
love
shared me the Stranger Secret, the thing.
watched that together here. We had the TV.
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
that day.
I was like, sit down, don't do anything,
I
guys.
belong here. Come sit here, bro. Come take
Yeah,
one
well, I
position,
joined it, bro.
Wallah. This guy.
It's shy.
But what he said on the
I feel
episode
like a
was
nerd now.
he was speaking about what do you call it? The idea of
How good is
success,
that?
like the Stranger Secret. And he basically says in a nutshell, the Stranger Secret is basically just doing what you love. Basically, that's what
What
he
you
says.
love and know, and knowing you can, like knowing what you think here, like
Yeah.
what you can do, you will.
100%.
If I think, oh, I'm not gonna do it, then I've already lost.
You've
it.
lost.
Yeah.
And he also speaks about the idea of conforming. He goes, the biggest problem to men isn't cowardness, as in like the failure of not starting something or doing things. It's actually conforming to another
Yep.
person's idea. He goes, the mind is like one of the greatest things we've got. You know what I mean? To the point where it's what you literally said before. Like your mind is so great. What Swahili just said essentially. Like my mind is so great that even if Tommy Hilfiger says, "Yo, I'm coming out with this," you know what I mean?
We didn't say it was great. We just said we are creative, but
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
What did I
he
say,
said
bro?
our mind is great. Now people are gonna think we're this like a narcissist.
we'll ease it. But the idea of like being capable, like no one can do what you can do. But
for
the
for
worst thing a
yourself,
man can do is conform to another person's ideals and whatnot. Do you know what I mean?
But that's what it is. That's basically what creativity is. It's just bucking trends. Basically creating your own lane, and then you just drive in your own lane, and then people follow it. Basically, we're not built, or not all of us are built to be leaders. A lot of us are built like to be followers, and we're raised and we're born to be like that.
Did you guys ever do that Dr. Peterson's personality thing?
This is what the
Yeah, I did it.
You did it, yeah?
is it that green thing?
Yeah, you have to pay.
You
It's
have to pay
only
money?
$12, but
Did you end up paying for it as well?
$12.
Yeah, I sent you the link. You said
It's
$10
worth it, 'cause it will save you years of it will just save you years of headache. It honestly is worth it. It's 12. The kid did it too.
It's
I forced to sit down and do it.
it's real.
Yeah, you do it, and like $12 is nothing. It's
I thought to
actually
myself-
worth it.
I said to myself, I'm
so
paying
good.
$12 for a personality. I already know myself. But
Because it just saves you the energy of what you should be doing, like all the things that I already felt inside, and then when you do the personality, it was like not those fake personality. It tells you everything you are. Like it tells you who you are, what you're capable. For example, one of the things that I'm high in conscientiousness. Yeah? For example, I won't be able to work under anybody. I'm always gonna wanna tell people, oh, this is how it should be done. I'm always gonna wanna suggest things, which is true. Because if I'm under someone, I'm gonna feel suffocated and I'll live an unhappy life. And I'm like, I knew that, but seeing it in like paper and knowing this is who you are, it's like, what are you gonna go against the grain? Like, it's just, it's good. It saves you energy. Honestly.
He says at the start of the personality test, he goes like, because he shows like the percentages, because you get ranked like based off of 5 massive qualities like narcissism, conscientiousness, and all that kind of stuff. And you have to be truthful. You know what I mean? Because if you lie or if you answer something and you screw up more this way and more that way, then what happens is you're only lying to yourself. Do you know what I mean? You want to be that that type of person and whatnot.
It doesn't give you like one type of personality. It just tells you in this section you're like this, or in this, like out of like, for example, in terms of negativity, like what was that? The
neuroticism.
Neuroticism. Like it will tell you you're high in neuroticism or low. Like in a room full of 100 people, you're at this percentage.
Yeah.
It just.
So
and he bases off real skewed data.
So he'll give you scenarios, for example, like, okay, what would you do in this scenario? Or
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was like
I can't remember the question. Yeah, $12 was worth it for the end result in order to actually get to know yourself even more. It was worth it because it will save you. Let's say whatever career you're looking forward to, whatever like what you're looking for in a relationship, all that stuff. It will save you like years worth of trial and error.
Yeah. And it helps because like knowing yourself is probably like the biggest weapon you can do. It is.
Oh, it's so good.
Biggest weapon you can have. I don't know.
It definitely is.
You know what I mean?
That's what helped me. Like when I studied counseling, like in order to be a counselor, you need to first do your own work on yourself, you know? Like you have to do self-discovery. That was one of the main things that they focus on. And slowly, the more I did it, the more like at ease I became, the more I was okay being myself. Like I hardly have anxiety about who I am, that all of that, just because I got to know myself, so go through the, you know, this is, why does this bother me? Why did, like getting through
being
yourself,
real to yourself, understanding your emotions.
It's so good. It's my favorite topic.
So where did that come about from? Like,
what, getting to know myself?
Yeah, becoming emotionally in touch with yourself.
Well, I was studying counseling. Like I'm a curious person. I'm genuinely like interested in why we're here. Like, you know, even when I told you when I finished high school, I couldn't understand, like, I was like, why are we really here? You know, we're born a Muslim, but like what is really all this about? Like, I don't understand the world. I didn't get the world.
Yeah.
And slowly working, things need to make sense to me. I need to think through why, like, I can't just get up every day.
Yeah.
For what? Like, why do you get up every day, you know?
Yeah, that's a real good question.
Yeah. Like, I can't possibly just get up to go work for what?
Yeah.
And come back home for like I needed answers. And
A
it took
purpose
me
as well.
a purpose, yeah.
Gotcha.
100%.
Until I got that, I was like everywhere. And then once you get that, then you're like comfortable discovering yourself more.
You become grounded as well.
And I think becoming conscious of Ilahi, like once you become conscious of Ilahi, Ilahi makes you conscious of yourself as well, like more and more.
Yeah. That saying, bro. If you forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah makes you forget yourself.
Forget yourself. Facts.
Yeah, but
actually.
There was I was talking to Monique about this once, and she was telling me, she's like, imagine your thoughts like, especially if you're an overthinker, somebody who's more neurotic than everyone else. Because I struggle with that a fair bit. I think a lot.
You'd find that out in this personality test where you stand.
I got $12. Let's go.
I'll pay for. I'll send it to you.
She said you're cheap.
Sponsor.
Huh? She said you're cheap.
I did not say that.
No, but yeah, but basically, yeah, she goes. Actually, it wasn't Monique or someone else.
Yeah.
But anyways, they go to basically imagine your mind, is basically like a crazy horse, like a wild horse, And right now it's not tamed, but once you tame it, you're gonna have an easier journey in life because you have a horse to ride on when everyone else is on foot.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
That's just mind-boggling.
And then I made
gold,
that saying up,
no, but like the concept makes sense. That's
it's
which
really
is
good,
true.
really
Our minds are so powerful. You really need to be in control.
Definitely. So
why are you judging?
I have a question. Okay, this might be a bit personal, but you let me know if you're uncomfortable. We can just pass through it. But you are an ambitious woman, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's frowned upon or anything like that in the Muslim community, but more often than not, you won't see
it's not
the woman as, I don't know if your husband, I don't really know your husband, if he's a major breadwinner in the family or not, but you would see like obviously, quite obviously, you're more at the forefront of the family, you know, when it comes to like the professional side of things. So like, how does he deal with it? How does he feel about it? Like, I know I can imagine.
I'm technical. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm actually, that's why I can take all these risks. I'm not the breadwinner. I don't have the worries of having to pay rent, this and that. Like, I don't have any of those worries. And it's not nice when people don't tell you the whole backstory. They're like, oh, I'm doing all this stuff, but what if I was a single mother and, you know, I had to pay my own rent? I could not risk what I'm risking, you know.
Zoe.
Right now I can play around, lose money, not lose money, like do all types of things because I have someone that, alhamdulillah, that has, like, you know, I can rely on. In terms of, like, he doesn't take it as serious. I know it sounds weird, but he actually doesn't think like he thinks I'm just taking up the piece. So he doesn't genuinely see me as like this, like,
fashion mogul.
He doesn't like, he doesn't even care. Like, he doesn't care about what I'm doing. But he does care sometimes when I'm like way too ambitious, and it's like, relax, why are you tired? I'm working, you know what? Like, why do you need to do this stuff? Because I'm the type that I'm gonna be up, like, I'm gonna have to finish that. So he's more like relaxed type, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to relax. I had, like, the more I became like aware of myself, I was like, look, this is something I need to, like, it's like an itch. It's there. I feel it. I can, like, it's in me. If I don't do something about it now, I might regret. And 100% I will. I'm going to look back and be like, oh my God, I should have, I could have. And you're not going to make me happy. No one will make me happy. Like, like, your husband's going to make you happy in terms of as a relationship. But as a character, as a person with this itch that I have, no one will save me except myself. And I need to fail. I need to try. I need to go to China. I need to do all that stuff on my own. I don't need, like, you to stop me. And I, like, made it very clear, you know, don't stop me. Let me try. Give me time. Let me see where it goes. You don't know where it's gonna go, you know. So that's, like, I had to be firm in that sense.
And he was understanding of it.
He's understanding. He's a lot like me anyway. Like, I got all the hard work ambitions from him as well in terms of, like, taking the risk and stuff, because he's a risk taker. He's not scared. Even the whole Snapchat thing, he was like, come, like, you know, you have to do it, just do it. But he didn't see it as, like, she's gonna get all these followers. You know, he doesn't
take a leap of faith, essentially.
Take a leap of faith.
Sorry,
go on, I
was gonna say, did you have these ambitions prior, obviously, to marrying him?
I did have it, but I don't know how to say it. Like, when you marry someone, like, subhanAllah, like, people, you can't go left or right in marriage. People don't understand. Your marriage can make you or break you. Because if you went left, I could have lost, like, I would have been focused. Let's say bad things happen in this marriage and it didn't work out and da-da-da-da. I would have probably been focused on trying to raise kids, doing this, doing that, being more focused on the priority right now. But when everything else is taken care of, then I have that ease of, like, I have this extra bit that I can't just be a stay-at-home mom. You know, I have it in me. Like, I don't send my kids to kinder at all, childcare, nothing, because I was like, I want to look after my own kids. No one needs to look after them.
For sure.
Like, people like, oh, but no, I'm not burnt out because I consciously became a parent. I want to do it. I want to be there for them because I don't want to look back and regret. That's how I make my decisions. I make my decisions based on, if I look back and I'm going to feel like shit, I don't want it. I would rather risk it. Even if I have to lose everything else, I'm fine with it because I'll have myself. But if I lose myself for other people, I can't do it.
I get you.
I don't care who you are. Yeah.
And I think like it will, I don't know how to say it. Like, I think Khalil Gibran said it in one of his books. He goes basically like oak trees, they don't grow in the shade of another. You know, like with one another. You know, they grow they grow in their own sunlight, separate from one another.
Yeah.
And basically like it helps both. If both of you flourish, you're both winning. So basically like I can see it, that it's like your husband can see it. Like he's
He
like,
can
okay,
see
if
I'm
she
ambitious.
grows,
He can see I'm ambitious, and he sees that I'm happy when I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I always say to him, would you rather as depressed wife, like that is like I could possibly do this and that, and I'm not doing it.
Sure.
Like I'm telling you, I would be depressed if I didn't. If someone stopped me and said you're not gonna do this, so it would go two ways: be depressed at home and like feel like shit, or be excited about life every day. And I'm like, you know, I'm not stopping him. I do my part of the house. Like, you know, I never, like, I look after my kids full. I do everything I need to do for me. I don't ask him to fund my business, none of that. I go to work to fund my business. That's none of his business, you know. But he's very proud man. Like, you know, Sharaf is not, Sharaf is like he's gonna be the one taking care of the house. He doesn't believe in me paying the rent and all of that stuff. He's a man's man in that sense. He takes pride in looking and paying. He wakes up 4. I got the ambition from him at the start. 4 a.m. every day he's up. You know, like when your parents do things, you're like, that's my parents. But when someone like you, me and you, your same age, is waking up every day doing something really hard, you're like, wait a minute. It's not like a superhero thing. As a parent, you think your parents are superheroes. You don't think they're normal. Well, he was waking up every day, mashallah, 4 a.m. No one tells, no alarm. He's up, does the work, doesn't complain, gets up, does what he needs to do. He's happy to look after the family. So I'm like, so it gave me more, like, you know, I can live my truth as well. So it's like, I don't know. I don't depend on him, but at the same time, I was like, look, this is my joy and happiness. And I was making clothes before I met you, so... No,
do it.
But he's not like that as well. Like, he does get annoyed sometimes about like, you're taking this way too serious. I'm like, yeah, it is serious. Because he thinks it's like a joke. But I want him to think that, because that means I'm not ignoring my responsibilities and I'm actually winning outside of
100%.
And my whole family are so supportive. Like, my dad went with me to China, and the second time my brother went with me. You know, like I'm not gonna. I don't ask anyone to babysit for me unless it's like death or life. Like, I don't need it. I don't need your help. I'm okay. When I need you, then I'll, you know. So if you're ignoring, I think, I don't know. And if someone's an alpha already, he shouldn't get bothered. Like, 2 alphas, like, they won't get so bothered by it. If he knows he's the breadwinner, he shouldn't be okay. Like, you shouldn't care what I think, you know, what I'm doing. Shouldn't worry about my ambitions. Shouldn't overshadow you.
Should just basically be a bonus to the family.
For sure. And you know, that's a big misconception as well with, like, I know people look at Muslim when, and like, I'm thankful you came on the podcast now and you spoke about that, because, like, first of all, there's a lot of barriers you are breaking. You know what I mean? Being a mother, owning a business, you know, being a Muslim, MBA, all of this kind of stuff.
Not
and
MBA.
And like, I remember at work, I'll just say it, but there was this lady at work one day, and she was mentioning a story about a Muslim couple, and forget the story itself, but the conclusion was she had this misconception of this Muslim wife and husband. You know what I mean? And the misconception was basically that the wife was scared of the husband and she was just obeying him and just doing him as he pleases. But then people don't realize, like, that's not how like a natural relationship.
You can, like, how do I say, you can obey. I still listen to Sharaf. If Sharaf says I can't go China, you seen me, I have to, like, beg him, go around, use this, use that, because I want his approval as well. Like,
but when I say obey, I mean, like, in terms of, like, to the point where it's limiting. You can't do what you want entirely as well, and also to the degree where, for example, like, because I know obviously Sharaf, you know what I mean, he's very, very supportive of your actual endeavors, and people forget sometimes. Like, this is what they like in terms of misconceptions regarding to obviously Muslim couples and also like marriage as well. There's a massive misconception in regards to marriage, being the fact that, like, you're going to go get married to someone and they're going to complete you and you're going to find out what you needed in your life. Do you get what I mean?
You're going to be miserable then.
And it shows, like, for example, that the ambitions start younger than that. You have to go on that, becoming, like you said, that the counselor aspect of it, you know what I mean? Finding your identity, doing those, like, identity tests and all that kind of stuff. Finding yourself before you do something big, like getting married and all that kind of stuff. Like, getting
married does, like, not complete you, but getting married does, like, add to, like, for example, if I wasn't married, I think about this a lot. People are like, oh, but you don't have time, you're married, you have kids, But does it stop you? But I think to myself, if I wasn't married, I would be so consumed in wanting to do that I might not be doing what I'm doing right now.
But you don't drop everything in the world just to do that so you can feel that.
No. Like I'm saying, because I have it, it's like a alhamdulillah, it's a privilege. Yeah, let's say it's working well, it's whatever it is.
Alhamdulillah.
But if I didn't have it, I don't know if I would be as ambitious. It sounds weird. Like my mind might have been like
so
it's
basically another itch, yeah?
Yeah. That's what it's another itch that your psychology focuses on that might distract you from this.
For sure, yeah.
Or what, vice versa.
As much as people want to deny it and whatever, it is part of
it's a human nature.
The human nature, you know? Like people want to be married, they want to have like a place to belong, like one little area there, bang, okay, man, move on to that area now.
Yeah, like you want a partner, you don't want to be alone. Like what's the point? If I was winning all by myself, I'm telling you personally, it wouldn't mean that much to me. It wouldn't mean much to me that like getting ASIYAM doesn't mean nothing to me in terms of like me raising Zayn and them well, like, you know, me like actually doing what, it's way more important that I do this. I'm getting way more ajr. This is a bonus, you know?
For sure,
so
it is. You're completing half your
day. Yeah, it's a half and half. Like this is a bonus. So ASIYAM is a bonus. The ambition is a bonus. If I had a husband that wasn't okay with it, man, that would suffocate me, and that would cause depression. I would be depressed.
Oh yeah, 100.
But I would leave. I know it sounds wild. Like I don't want to give people ideas. Don't listen to me now.
yeah.
Like I would, because I'm so confident in myself that like I don't want to be unhappy. Why will I be unhappy when 100%. I can be happy?
Yeah,
100%.
Like because it causes too much issues for such a, like, I would say it's a really harmless thing, like allowing somebody to just flourish in whatever they want to achieve, you know. Like, and if it's harmless, it's like, it's not like you're going out and you're saying, oh, I really want to go and get involved in some haram stuff or something like that. You're just basically saying, hey, I need an avenue to get rid of this creativity that I have, you know. Otherwise, like, what am I gonna do?
What am I gonna do? Either way, I was gonna do that anyway, you know. Like either way, I'm gonna like there's no, I have had a machine. I have the machine I had when like I was in year 8. I have it. I have another machine, other machines.
What,
but
the
I
machine that used to make things with?
Yeah, my mom bought it for me for like $400. Like, you know, I have my same machine in the garage, you know. So it's older than our relationship, this machine, which means this is part of my identity, you know.
That's like a saying, man. Well, like, go ahead.
I'm gonna get into trouble. You have to cut that. No, but like it wouldn't be like, as a person, if you're gonna stop someone from doing that, like you have to do like, you know, self-reflection yourself. Like why definitely. Is it that you're, if I was going against it, for example, if I was doing all types of haram things, a lot of people are okay with their wife doing haram things, but they're actually not okay with their wife being ambitious. That's actually so many people are okay with like their wife's not covering, doing this, but she can't live, you know. It's like,
come on,
don't get a job, otherwise you're gonna do something haram.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
What's the chance you could donate that machine to us so we can probably
no chance. It's like it's a treasure. I still use it. It still works very well. Nice. Yeah,
that's crazy. That is crazy.
Very good machine.
Top 3 books that you'd recommend?
It's really hard. I can't do that now. Because I'm always going through phases, all the time. For sure. But it's a hard one. But my ultimate audio is the, what's his name, Earl Nightingale, not the secret or whatever we call it. The long one, the 13-hour one. What's it called? The ultimate success or something like that. One is my ultimate, my go-to all the time. Yeah, that one's one of my favorite. Purple Cow is like a good one.
Ali Abdul recommended that one.
What's Purple Cow?
Yeah, I know the Purple Cow.
What is it?
I haven't read it myself personally. It's on the list of books to read. You should read. It's not a big book. Yeah, it's all right.
Is it about agriculture?
No, marketing and stuff like that, and not just marketing, like just like things. Seth Godin, like, do you know Seth Godin? Yeah.
Oh, that bloke sounds familiar.
Yeah, marketing books and like
Baldy guy.
Glasses. Baldy guy, I do really nerdy. Did you?
Yeah, I am. I'm doing my masters, but
what?
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, you carry on. Sorry.
He does bend.
It's not about me. This is about you. Okay?
So Seth Godin would be a good person for you.
Lucky Last.
This is a bad book to like, but I like 48 Laws of Power.
I thought she was saying the Bible. Wallah.
Yeah.
Every single day we used to go to work together.
Yeah.
You have to read. I'm not reading it ever.
Yeah.
Hey, the book's here, isn't it?
Why? What's the 48 Laws of Power? What's that?
Yeah,
Robert
it's
Greene.
a dangerous book to read.
It's a good book to read because
it's very dangerous. I did force Idris to read. I forced Idris, even just the other day. I like sending him a list of books to do every now and then. I'm like, you have to read this now.
Do you morph into something else?
Because it's dangerous in terms of
It's not dangerous. It's actually
your mind. It's dangerous
it's
for
not
the
dangerous. I wouldn't
mind.
consider it dangerous.
Depends on the person.
Yeah, it depends how you use the book. You know what I mean? If you have ill intentions.
It's good to be okay. I'll tell you, it's dangerous. For me, I was not naive, but I'm more like I don't believe certain things happen, like bad things happen. Like it's hard for me to digest it. But this book makes it very clear that good and bad exist,
And guess what? It's empowering as well.
and exist within you as well. Like that's what's
Oh, I know
dangerous
that.
about it.
That's
Like
definite.
this, and it gives you tools on how you could be bad or good. Like
Yeah.
either way, you know.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
I don't know. For Lots of Power, it's like his new book is really good as well. It's thick, but I went
Which
through
one?
it, the whole thing. Laws of Human Nature.
Yes.
Oh, that one is just mind-boggling too.
Oh, okay. I
So
don't want to
wait,
delve
wait.
into him too much, but yeah.
So
that's-
he gives you like step-by-step plays on how to be a spastic.
No.
or how to be
He
good.
just tells you history. He tells you history.
Oh,
he doesn't
okay,
tell
okay.
you.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say like, what the hell,
But
guys?
he tells you history in a way. He gives you laws for every.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
Tactics low key, yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is applicable. Like the one that stands out to me the most is the
What?
second one,
What?
where it goes never outshine the master.
How dangerous is that? But it's so good to know, though. Like
It's good to know
it's
if you
good to
equip
know
yourself.
you're so like because people like me. Before I didn't know how to not
Yeah.
like if I'm good, I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you know. Like you know,
Yeah.
like but it's good to know. It's
For
good
sure,
to
for
just
sure.
not let people know
Just
that.
fly under the
I'm actually
radar.
reading The Art of Seduction at the moment.
Yeah, that one's not. I stopped to that one halfway.
That one is
That way I stopped
You were supposed
halfway.
to mention on the
You,
podcast.
no, that one I stopped halfway. It wasn't that like interesting. Another book I don't like him, Steve Spielberg,
Steve
whatever his
Irwin?
name is. No, the Do the Work. That book I don't know if you guys know Do the Work. It's one of my favorite books. Yeah, I hate him though. I started to hate him because I saw him say stuff about Islam.
The War of Art.
But all I'm gonna tell you is,
The
yeah,
resistance. The
Yeah.
resistance.
like I
Do the
know
Work is really
we
good.
listen to Joe Rogan. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I do
Yeah,
dabble in
yeah,
a bit of Joe
yeah.
Rogan, but that guy's a closet Islamophobe.
Who?
Joe Rogan, he's a closet Islamophobe. The only reason why is because he'll bring on some guy who, no offense, but Jews don't really know much about Islam. Like
Oh,
he-
that guy, the Assad guy. I watched that episode and it did my head in.
What the
But
hell is he
but
talking
at
about?
the end, he sort of did defend. At the end, he said, "But you're basically saying what you guys don't want to be done to you,
Yeah.
which was we don't want is Muslims." He did at the end come through
He
though.
lets him run.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
It's true. Like I
But that's-
learned to stop. Like even the Steve, what's his name? Steve
Pressfield.
That book, I liked that book so much. I still do. It's a good book to like get you to do the work. It's
Yeah.
got do the work, yeah. But I saw an article like recently or something. He said something about Islam, and I was like, I can't justify this guy anymore.
Yeah.
I hate him so much. I
yeah.
literally hate him. But at the same time, I like that book. You know. So how do you differentiate?
I think you can take, yeah, exactly, yeah, take
probably,
the,
yeah.
the bad, but
Like yeah, it's like Chanel. I like Chanel the design, but I hated the designer. He died now.
Yeah.
Who cares? Because he was a bit, you know.
wait, how long ago was it?
It's like maybe 2 years ago now.
Old news.
Like I didn't like him because he was Islamophobe as well. Like
Yeah.
certain things you just have to like yeah. But I like that book. Do the Work is a really good.
It's similar to the War of Art because that's what it essentially is. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but
Like,
Do the Work is better and it's like much like it's
see, that was another book that was on the list that when Abshir recommended it, I'm like, all right, cool, new book. I'm set up. I have an Audible account, yeah.
Do the Work.
So I'm
yeah.
like hopping onto an Audible account.
You have my account, yeah. You and Idris both have it. I
I
moved on from the Audible. I have Audible still just for Earl Nightingale,
Yeah.
but I have a script as well.
Script,
yeah,
yeah,
I have
which I have
both
your
hand
account.
in hand. Yeah, you have my account.
Yeah, both of them. But I go on that and I'm looking for the book, obviously, War
My
of Art,
books
because
got more philosophical towards.
changing like Jordan Peterson and that, yeah. But I go on that and after I see the War of Art, and I'm like, man, I can't beat her, man. Like every time I come with a new book, she's already
Yeah.
got it. And mind you, it's a very thin book, so I was like,
It's
okay,
a
let me
really
just
nice
listen
book,
to it.
yeah, but,
I'll
But
recommend your YouTube channel later. It's all about philosophy, wallah.
Yeah.
It's called ASIYAM or something like
Mm.
that. I don't know how to say it, but it's a
No.
German word.
yeah.
The guy basically just goes through all the philosophy and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And you should also listen to a guy named Firaz Zahabi if you don't know him
Oh my
already.
god, I do know him. I
Guys,
recently
machine.
discovered him
Yeah.
on Joe Rogan.
but basically, wallah, that's
Yeah.
it. He had, you know, Muhammad Hijab, yeah. So basically,
No.
he done a pod or he done
Muhammad
like a Muhammad
Hijab.
Hijab. You know,
intellectually subservient?
Yeah.
Is this the guy that does the controversial stuff?
No, that's Ali Dawah.
That's Ali Dawah, but
No, but there's a guy called Muhammad Hijab. Yeah,
big guy, yeah.
His name is literally H-I like
Yeah,
hijab.
hijab, yeah, glasses.
Yeah, but he does controversial stuff. I saw
Easier.
one controversial thing he did. I was turned off from it
What's
straight
that,
away.
Ayan Hirsi, Ali thing?
No. He said there was a thing about this the you know remember that Khalid or something the UK couple.
Hassanet and the other.
Hassan-
Oh.
Straight away when people do anything like that and you're trying to do dawah stuff, I get turned off straight away. Like when you do, that was the first time I saw him. 3 minutes in, I was like, nah, I'm not watching this guy.
Oh, that's
yeah, he was. Okay. That's what he does. That's what he does. And I was turned off straight away. I was like, this is not quality.
I get what you mean.
Because he did that intentionally. That's not necessary for him to. Anyway, clickbaiting. That's the right word.
It's the same problem with Dawah people have as well.
Al Dawah is for teen boys, but
she's not wrong, huh? She's not wrong. Oh, I used to watch him when I was 18. So.
I only discovered him from Mohammed. I was like, what is this guy? Yeah. And then I was like, oh no, it's for teen kids. It's good, and he's trying his best, but he's calmed down.
Yeah.
No, we love that. I reckon, inshallah, we'll leave the episode there.
Yay.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode, and Asiya, thank you for coming on. Quickly, where can people find you? By the way, plug your stuff.
Instagram would be the best place.
100%.
ASIYAM, like ASIYAM, and then with a .au.
Beautiful.
Because I can't get ASIYAM.
Make sure you guys show her love. Thank you for watching this episode. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, smash that like button, and we appreciate you guys listening.
Go buy ASIYAM for your loved one.
100%.
Don't be cheap, mate.
Yeah, like less than 40 days.
What's your favorite dress you've got? Your favorite collection?
The pleated.
The pleated?
The pleated is one of my favorite stuff.
I think get one too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.